What is up, guys? Delboy here. So Josh Taylor defeats Viktor Postol by a unanimous decision to become the mandatory challenger for the WBC super lightweight title. Firstly, this fight was excellent. You know, ebb and flows, back and forths, different styles of fighting, great atmosphere, just a really good fight, and it gelled. The two styles of both guys gelled really well. I'm going to start with the scorecards just because I felt that was absolutely disgusting. I felt the right man won. I think Josh Taylor done enough. But those scorecards were embarrassing. They really were embarrassing. And when you watch such a good fight like that, and then cards like that get read out, it kind of just puts a dampener on the whole evening. You know, really good fight. Postol fought his heart out. He won multiple rounds. And those scorecards really did him a disservice. You know, it's things like that that really turn away people from the sport. But enough moaning about the scorecards. The fight itself was excellent, like I said. I mean, actually, Viktor Postol opened up being aggressive in the first round. And I was expecting him to kind of box on the back foot straight away. But no, he come forward behind his jab looking for that right hand. You know, and that kind of surprised Josh Taylor. In the first round, I felt Viktor Postol took him by surprise. You know, really good on the front foot, landed a couple of nice right hands. He was forcing the pace. So an impressive start by Postol. Round two, I felt Josh Taylor comes back into it well by pushing Postol back, landing some body shots here and there. You know, some overhands, a nice overhand right. Rounds 3, 4 and 5 were really competitive, you know, really close rounds. Both guys were having success. Postol was having success when he kept it long with his jab and right hand. Also, Postol was having good success with a right hand to the body from range. That punch consistently landed throughout the whole fight for him. But yeah, rounds 3, 4 and 5, you know, really competitive. Like I said, Postol was doing well at range. But when Taylor did get close, he was landing some good shots to the body, some nice overhands. A couple of good left hooks here and there. You know, really competitive. Round 6, I felt Josh Taylor had a good round. Really started to force the pace on Viktor Postol. Landed some good shots, pushed him back. You know, was the aggressor. And after round 6, I actually had the fight even. But rounds 7 and 8 was where it really started to get interesting. Because Postol had two really good rounds here. It was either round 7 or round 8 where he lands a lovely short uppercut and it catches Josh Taylor unawares and he was buzzed. And, you know, Taylor done well to get through the storm. But, you know, rounds 7 and 8 were really good rounds from Viktor Postol. He was doing well from range like he was earlier in the fight, but he was also being aggressive. He was letting his hands go. He was also working the body, like I said. You know, rounds 7 and 8, really good rounds for Postol. And at that point, I had Postol up in the fight. But after round 8, I actually felt Josh Taylor done a really good job of clawing it back, showing great determination to get back into the fight. Because after round 8, it kind of looked like Josh Taylor was feeling sorry for himself a little bit. And he's a guy who's only had 12 fights going into this. So he could have easily folded and kind of went into a shell and lost the fight from there. But no, you know, the inexperience didn't play a factor, and he really did bite down on his gum shield and start to go to work after round 8. Round 9, 10 and 11, I felt Taylor won these rounds. He was the guy forcing Postol back. In round 10, I believe it was round 10, he drops Viktor Postol with a looping shot. Catches Postol bang in the face, it drops him. That's towards the end of round 10, I believe. Postol saw the round out. Round 11 again, Postol had some success obviously, but it was Taylor who was pushing Postol back. And round 12 as well, I mean, again, Postol had some success here and there, but you know, it was Taylor who was the one forcing the pace. He was the one letting his hands go. He was the aggressor. He was the guy who looked like he wanted it more. And Taylor's strong finish won him this fight as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, after round 8 I had Postol up. But rounds 9, 10, 11 and 12 just sealed this for Josh Taylor. Really good come from behind victory, because I'd struggled to see how anybody could have Taylor up after about 8 rounds. So yeah, I was impressed with how Taylor, you know, didn't let inexperience get the best of him. And how he kind of just clawed this fight back. I was really impressed. So scorecards aside, I felt this was a really, really good fight. You know, the right man won, and it's going to be interesting to see where Josh Taylor goes from here. I would like to see him enter the World Boxing Super Series. That'd be a great look. We can also talk about potential fights with Jose Ramirez, who is the WBC Super Lightweight Champion, or Regis Prograis, who is the WBC Interim Super Lightweight Champion. You know, they're two great fights. I would favour Taylor to beat Jose Ramirez, to be honest with you. And I'd say Prograis is a 50-50, to be quite honest. I know a lot of people are going to be reactionary and they're going to be picking Prograis to beat Josh Taylor now, and I can see why. But you've got to take into account that Regis Prograis hasn't fought at the level that Josh Taylor has. To me, Viktor Postol is clearly better than anybody Prograis has been in the ring with. So I do feel it's unfair to judge Taylor below Prograis when Prograis hasn't fought at this level, to be quite honest with you. And I think it's a bit premature to automatically back Prograis to beat Taylor based on that. You know, just purely because Prograis hasn't fought at that level. How would Prograis do with Viktor Postol? You know, maybe he beats him, but you know, he's not been in the ring with him. He's not been in the ring with somebody of that level. So yeah, I mean, it's a hard fight to call. I think both guys have a chance of winning it. You know, both guys hit hard. Both guys have flaws defensively. You know, Prograis versus Josh Taylor to me is the fight to make. You know, I'm not sure who's going to enter this World Boxing Super Series. Maybe if Taylor, Ramirez and Prograis could all enter, that'd be a great look, as well as some of the other guys at 140. That could be a really, really good tournament. But, you know, Josh Taylor's got a lot of options out there now. I think he's going to go down the World Boxing Super Series route. You know, there's some big purses in that. And should he even win that tournament, it's a really, really big accolade. So yeah, man, really good fight. Thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, I felt the right man won, but like I said, the cards were a disgrace. What did you guys think of this fight? Peace.